What's up, YouTube? It's Lions Fan Express coming at you with that man-to-man press. And in today's video, we're going to be reacting to Todd McShay's Mock Draft 2.0 that just came out on ESPN. So if you guys need a link to that, I can also put that down below for a reference point. And also, we'll be referring to MLive, an article written by Kyle Mankey. He does a really good job. A really good, Detroit Lions beat writer. I've been following him for a while too now. So, he's a trustworthy source, and, I just want to give him credit and a shout out as well. But yeah, so basically, Tom McShay, he came out with his mock draft. He's a television analyst and a commentator. He's been doing these mock drafts for a while now. I feel like ever since I was a little kid, I'd always see Todd McShay mock drafts coming out. And also, he does that alongside Mel Kiper, who I'll also probably be doing some mock draft reactions to as well. But yeah, so basically he takes all the the teams, and he breaks it down and just kind of gives his pick of who that they should pick basically. And for the Detroit Lions, we had pick number 6 and pick number 18, so we had two players that we could definitely add to the team to make us better. Todd McShay, for a first pick, he actually went with the edge rusher Myles Murphy from Clemson. His explanation for that was that he considered a cornerback, but Murphy was a much higher grade than my CB1. So basically, he thinks very highly of Murphy, and that he thinks that he's able to come off the edge and be a disruptor alongside Aiden Hutchinson and James Houston, and basically help bolster that defensive line. My personal reaction to that, I'd love to pick, honestly. I know some people aren't as high on Myles Murphy as I am, but I do think that Myles Murphy, while I do think he's a good edge, and I know a lot of people don't think that we need edge, but me, I actually look at him more as a interior defensive lineman. Like his background in high school, he was over 300 pounds coming out of high school, almost really more of a three tech, and he has the ability to run stop, and he had about 6 and 7 sacks, which isn't bad, but like, you're not really missing out on a whole bunch of sack production if you kick him inside, because it's not like he's a 10 plus sack guy anyway. So if you put him inside and help him, because he's a really good run stopper, he's super athletic, he's big, he's twitchy, able to disengage with blockers. Like if you want a guy like that, you can kick him inside and play almost like a 3-tech role. And maybe in NASCAR packages, you can kind of kick him on the outside and help him, have him rush from the end. So he can be more athletic and fast at that position. Cool, I'm fine with that. But that's personally my opinion on it. So I agree on this pick. I think that's a good pick. So yeah, I think he got that right. And then on to the second pick. So pick number 18, basically, he was still looking at cornerback. And that's definitely a need for us as a Detroit Lions. They definitely need to solidify that secondary. It's not necessarily the position that I'm kind of a little bit up in the air about, but it's the person that he picked for that position. Of course, we've kind of talked a little bit about Penn State's Joey Porter Jr., who I'm really high on. Obviously Devon Witherspoon and Christian Gonzalez. I think all three of those guys are legit starting caliber cornerbacks in the NFL. They all provide something special and unique to the game, whether it's size, speed, strength, aggressiveness, intangibles, all those kind of things. But when it came to the 18th pick, he actually kind of threw it a little bit of a curveball, and he went Kelee Ringo, the cornerback from Georgia. His kind of reasoning was that he's a huge cornerback. He's about 6'2", 215 pounds, so really good size for a corner, and he's got elite speed. And that's the thing too. I noticed when watching his tape is he's fast. Like if you want someone that is big and long and fast and has all those physical athletic traits and gifts, Kelee Ringo's your guy. Like he definitely can, he has that potential. But when watching his film, the thing that really worries me is that almost every single time I watched him, he was getting beat. Like he gets beat on slants. He's not very smooth in his hips. He's very tight, and he isn't able to manipulate his hips and rotate with the receiver. When it comes to breaking down, when receivers break down on the routes and they come back to the ball, he's very tight. Like I said, tight in his hips, and his change of direction isn't very good. He's slow to react, despite the fact that he has really ridiculously fast speed. he gets beat over the top a lot. He's actually in pretty good position. He just doesn't turn and locate the ball well. He literally had over 500 yards put on him in a full season. And obviously the SEC has a bunch of good receivers. I understand that, but literally every game that you watch, he was getting cooked. Like, I don't know why people are so high on him, other tan the fact that, if NFL team thinks like, okay, he's got all the physical tools, but if we can take him and put him in the right system and coach him up right, we can make him into a really good player, and that's fine. I understand that mentality, but if it's me, honestly, I would take even Cam Smith from South Carolina over him, and possibly even Emmanuel Forbes. Like, I'm not high on Kelee Ringo like that. So I feel like he's definitely more of like a day 2 pick. So if the Lions took him at pick number 18 like this, would I be upset? I mean, it's a need. Like, I would understand the reasoning, because it is a need. They do need a cornerback, and he does possess the physical skills. But when it comes to actually being a lockdown corner, he's gonna get cooked on the outside. He just is. Like, watch his tape from LSU. He constantly is just getting cooked on every single route you can think of, and it's not even close. And I wouldn't be okay with that pick if I had to be honest. So basically, it's because I've watched the film, though. If I hadn't watched the film on him, I'd be like, oh yeah, Kelee Ringo, he's from Georgia. Oh yeah, he had that pick 6 from years ago in the Alabama championship, against Alabama. Like, okay, yeah, he's a great player, right? I've seen his highlight tapes. Oh yeah, seems like he's got good size, good speed. He looks like he's a baller. Okay, yeah, I'd be cool with that. But I've watched the film, and I just don't see it. So ultimately, I would have at least maybe 5 other cornerbacks I would definitely take over Ringo. But this is obviously Todd McShay's mock draft, and he decided to plug in Kelee Ringo for the Detroit Lions. And I mean, it does hit 2 needs, though. It hits a defensive line and cornerback, and then that allows the Lions to kind of open up their picks a little bit and go more best player available instead of just position of need. Which, I mean, you should probably do more of a mix of between best player available and then your position of need always. I think they're kind of interchangeable and they go hand in hand. But ultimately, yeah, it's just if I had to give it a grade, I like the Myles Murphy pick, so that would get it an A. But if I had to grade it just solely on the Kelee Ringo pick, I'd give it like a C. So I'd probably give this mock draft maybe like a B minus. And that's just because I've actually watched film on these players, so I kind of have a little bit of a more of an educated opinion. But again, Todd McShay obviously does this for a living. All respect to him. I think that he definitely knows his stuff. He knows his football. He spends hours, watching film and going talking to college executives and NFL GMs and coaches. So he understands it a little bit more than I do, for sure. In all respect to him. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just, I might kind of have a different opinion on that. But like I said, I was glad I was able to break this down. This came out today, so I thought I'd jump on and kind of just give you guys my thoughts and opinions on that. If you guys want more of a breakdown of Kelee Ringo, I'm planning on doing some more player profiles. I'm just kind of trying to grind through some film and watch more players and kind of just compile my top 5 for each position. That's going to be coming out hopefully sometime in late February, if not early March, and we'll kind of have more of an idea. I really wanted to get it done before the NFL Combine, just solely because I don't want it to be affected by the Combine. A lot of times people, and that's a whole nother story. But yeah, basically the Combine can just inflate people's draft stocks like crazy. And again, to me, ultimately it goes down to, what do you see on tape? The tape does not lie. And if someone can ball out on the tape in college, they probably can ball out in the NFL. If they're struggling in college, then they probably will struggle in the NFL. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure give it a thumbs up, like, comment. If you guys have any questions or concerns down below, and share it. And just, yeah, guys, appreciate everyone that's subscribed and plugged in. And you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. I really appreciate that. And as always, go Lions.